We know you've been wondering, when would this show come back on? It's been dominating the headlines, newspapers across the country. We have the answer. Right now, it's The Counterattack. Hi everyone, Greg Mescall here with you, and thanks for joining us on The Counterattack. We know we've been away for a couple of weeks, so we don't want to waste any more time. We're going to get right back into talking water polo, and we start first with our USA women's national team. You know, this past summer, they won it all. Most recently, the FINA World Championship. But since winning gold in Russia back in August, they haven't played a single game. That all changed this past Saturday in Irvine. It was the capper of day one of the Collegiate Cup, the USA women versus China. And despite 3 months away from a competitive game, they seemed like they were in gold medal form. Let's go to the highlights. It was a beautiful evening down in Irvine. Capacity crowd on hand at the William Willett Aquatic Center to see Team USA, the world champs, in action, and they did not disappoint. We picked things up here early in the first, 5:39 to play. It's the team captain and FINA Player of the Year, Maggie Steffens, connecting 1-0 Team USA ahead. China bouncing back moments later. Sun Yating puts this one away to even the score at 1-1. That's really as close as China would get. The rest of the way, it was all Team USA. And who led the attack? This woman, Kylie Nuschel. Second quarter action. She delivers the first of 4 goals on the evening as she powers that one past the Chinese keeper. Then we go to the third quarter. Team USA cruising ahead 6-2. Nuschel adds to that on the power play goal, make it 7-2. Later in the third, Team USA really rolled in the third quarter. KK Clark had scored a goal on the power play. She'll add another here on the natural goal. It's an 11-3 lead. And then into the fourth quarter on the exclusion, Team USA turns to a newcomer, Cody Hill. She buries it 12-3. Team USA goes on to win this one 14-3 behind a combined effort and goal from Sammy Hill and Gabby Stone. Stone getting the start. Afterwards, we caught up with some members of Team USA on the win after winning gold. When you're a team like the USA Women's Senior National Team and you rack up all these gold medals and big victories, you start to get nominated for other awards. That's happened here in 2015. Our USA women are a finalist for the Team USA Olympic Team of the Year honor. It's going to be given out this December, and you can help Team USA win. Fan voting accounts for 50% of the overall tally. That's a huge number when it comes to online voting. Get over to teamusa.org right now. Cast your vote for our USA Women's National Team. And in the meantime, check out this cool promo video that Team USA put together. It wasn't all national team action this past weekend in Irvine. It was also the Collegiate Cup. It's a tournament bringing together many of the best women's college teams from around the country, and it came down to these 3 clubs: UCLA, USC, and Cal. Now, due to the way the schedule was put together and how points were tabulated, Cal took on USC early on Sunday, and if they won, they would have won the entire thing. Then USC and UCLA met after that, and that could have factored in. Let's go to the highlights. We'll answer all your questions. So back to Irvine we go, great place for water polo, and we pick it up with that first game, USC and Cal. So if Cal wins, they're Collegiate Cup champs. If they don't, USC has an opportunity. Joanna Haralabidis starts things off for USC. They're ahead 2-1. She makes it 3-1 here in the second quarter. Now, third quarter, Brigitte Games, the center, powers her way to the goal, putting that one home 5-2. USC goes in front. Cal looks to rally. They turn to Kindred Paul. She makes it 7-3, but too much USC on this day. With under 3 minutes to play, Brianna DeBow buries this shot, making it 8-3. USC goes on to win it 8-4. That means USC versus UCLA would be for the title, and of course we have that game for you right now. UCLA and USC, a low-scoring affair to say the least. Here we go, second quarter, Mackenzie Barr in a 1-1 game. She makes it 2-1 for UCLA. Third quarter, early on, more Barr. The second of 2 goals on the day. She makes it 4-1, but hang on, USC coming back. They know how to rally. Late in the fourth, Avery Peterson scores it with 1:54 to play, making it 4-2. And then Games coming through again, 30 seconds to play, making it 4-3. But USC could get no closer. They fall 4-3 to the Bruins. UCLA, the champs. USC second, Cal third. Afterwards, some Bruins on the Collegiate Cup crown. We're still talking college because it's men's college season and we're getting down to the postseason. Here's some scores from over the weekend regular season play. Pacific, the Tigers are surging. They upend Cal 11-10. And then a lot of overtime action around the country. Back east, Brown 1 goal better than Harvard, 14-13. Back west, UC Santa Barbara 2 goals better than UC San Diego in overtime, 16-14. And let's swing it back east. Navy topping Bucknell 15-13 in overtime. So as you know, we get closer to the playoffs. The games mean more. These scores are indicative of that. Speaking of big games, this weekend, West Coast action, 2 games televised. USC at UCLA at 1 p.m. Pacific time on the Pac-12 networks. That'll be available nationwide. And then up north, the big splash, Stanford at Cal. That'll be on Pac-12 networks, Bay Area, also at 1 p.m. So if you have the Pac-12 networks, you've got to make a decision here. What do I watch? It's going to be tough. 2 great games, and that will help decide postseason standings and seedings in the MPSF. One of the bummers about taking a few weeks off from the counterattack was we missed out on so many of your high school results. We know that high school championships are wrapping up all across the country, and we're going to get to a bunch of them next week as we catch up on all the states. We see you, Ohio, some that have crowned their champions in recent weeks. In the meantime, we want to tell you about 3 different champions that were awarded in the last couple of weeks. We start things off first with the Eastern Prep Championship. It was Calvert Hall. They won the Maryland Prep Championship previously. Now they took over the entire Eastern Seaboard. They topped Malvern Prep 9-7. On the girls' side, it was the Hill School in a high-scoring affair, to say the least. They defeat Episcopal Academy 19-7. So congratulations to both the Eastern Prep champs. And then to the state of Connecticut, after all these years, they have a state champion now. It's Greenwich High School defeating Greenwich Aquatics 15-9. Congrats to those folks, and history being made, their first ever Connecticut state champs. So again, that's just a couple of the high school champs that were crowned recently. We're going to fill you in on more next week, including some great action coming up this weekend on the high school scene. Now we turn to our social media send-off. Let's jump right in. And first things first, I got a chance to meet the Lady Cougars from Canyon Springs High School. They showed up in force at the Collegiate Cup. Great to meet those athletes, and good luck to their season that's getting started this December. They were excited to see some of the best female water polo players in the country. And then we know Halloween has already passed us by, but we have to give a shout out to these officials who showed up to ref in costume, Emma Cox and Brenna Hayes, that coming from the Jim Cullingham Twitter account. And then last but not least, how many times have you been asked that terrible joke, what happens to the horses in water polo? Well, thanks to the Earth Picks Twitter account, we know they swim. The horses swim. So we can all stop with that very awful joke. and maybe something else about water polo, I don't know. In any event, we want to see what you have on social media. Make sure to use the hashtag counterattack. Tweet at us, Instagram at us. You know the drill. Facebook. We want to see what you're sharing, and we'll share it right here on the show. That's going to do it for this week's episode of The Counterattack. Thanks for joining us. And don't forget, as if you could have forgotten, it's only been a few weeks, when you're on The Counterattack, look weak side.